What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, it is just a member stream. I know, right? The amount of times I've promised a member stream, and either something happens where I can't, I'm not able to do it. I'm able to flat out forget, or I damn near go viral for all the wrong reasons. Just, I decide maybe it ain't a good time to be on a member stream. Um. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. Please do slap a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And you know what? You members, I'm going to start to give back to in a big, big way over the next few weeks. So keep it locked if you haven't already. I've got a few ideas that I'm going to run by you guys, or I'm just going to try out. I'm literally just going to pop up and try out, and hopefully you guys will like it. And yeah, we'll keep going from that way. First of all, apologies. I was supposed to be on literally an hour and a half ago. Hands up. I was having some internet difficulties. Then I just fell asleep. I got so frustrated I fell asleep because it is cold in here. Hence this fucking big ass white blanket that I'm in right now. It is cold in here. I ain't gonna lie, cold as fuck. So I put a blanket up around me and I fell the fuck asleep. And it was only like I woke up at like 9:15. I was like, oh shit. I've got the combat show as well. I was like, oh shit. So for those of you wondering when the combat show will be, I've also set that up, but I've set that up for 9:45. So I'm literally just gonna go from here to there. So it'll be a seamless transition. So it's gonna be literally a double show for me. It does mean that this membership stream will be shorter. But the good thing about it is I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another member stream tomorrow. You know why? Just for the fuck of it. So tomorrow, I don't always do previews, but I am going to do a Arsenal versus Leeds preview for the members tomorrow. What I'm going to do now, just because I wasn't really happy with my previews numbers before, so I'm going to just essentially make them for key games only. We're going to set up the previews a little bit more differently than we normally would. Hopefully, we're going to try and create something a bit different, a bit new, a bit of a different feel for you guys. Bring some of you guys on and get your opinions on previews for key games. And I think tomorrow is a key game. Let's face it, it's 10 versus 11. So it's a key game for us. So yeah. Also, so what was I gonna say? What was I going to say? So yeah, so we're gonna make it all different types of feelings. Tomorrow I also may do a cooking with Chig. That's right. I'm gonna do my very first cooking with Chig. So all you gold members, it's gonna be weird doing it by myself, for myself, without any type of female help. But I'm going to try and do one tomorrow. Really feel like cooking tomorrow. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be about that life tomorrow. And yeah, I'll film that and I'll upload that. And that'll be some even more material for you guys. So I'm going to be about my members for the next few weeks. Really, just to really say thank you for continuously supporting the show and giving back to you guys for every time I've let you down and not come on when I promised I'll come on and various different reasons. So I don't mean to do it. And to be honest with you, I would have done it a lot sooner. And then this whole flipping viral thing happened. And it just killed my enthusiasm to do any type of stream, never mind a members one. So yeah, we're going to get back to you guys. So you guys are always a priority. But having said that, if you're a subscriber, I'm back, baby. Late night with Chigs, coming back. We're coming back. We're going to be a lot more consistent. Just because I've just decided, fuck it. And also, a lot of things are pissing me off recently when I'm watching podcasts. And that's what the tale of today's video is about. And that is about Arsenal Football Club. I'm seeing a lot of fucking people, and I'm talking about a lot of people, talking about the fact that Arsenal should be if you're an Arsenal fan, you should understand that we deserve to be 11th, which I actually agree with, considering that we have been playing shit. That we deserve to be 11th, but that we shouldn't be upset by it. We are where we are. That it's been a good season. Um, that 11th, you shouldn't be upset by the place. When you look at the table, you shouldn't be upset by 11th, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what the flying fuck? Things like that pissing me off because I don't understand how Mikel Arteta has managed to do this. Where he's come into the job and seamlessly, he's managed to hypnotize people into accepting our season. And that's really pissing me off. Like, I don't understand how that's happened. I don't understand how people are not supposed to be upset by being 11th. Last season, I remember last season vividly. I remember when last season, it was the end of the season, it was before we won the FA Cup, and, I wasn't really happy with the season and the way we finished it. And I was told that, you've got to give Mikel Arteta a chance because we're eighth. And because we're eighth, we should be understandable. We should be happy with that. We should be satisfied with eighth. And, it was Unai Emery's fault was the reason we're eighth. And wait until next season. This season, we're worse. And people are saying, wait till next season. What the fuck is it actually going to take? Before people are like, okay, maybe we should get rid. Maybe we've given this guy enough of a chance. I'm all for giving people appropriate time to improve something. I need to see progress out of you, though. I'm not even asking for the world here. Do you know, if you finished eighth, even if, let's just say you finished eighth the first season, right? And I weren't particularly happy with the Premier League last season. But you finished eighth in that Premier League season. And then this season, you were on course for fifth, sixth. Do you know what? I wouldn't be overly happy with it. But at least it could justify the arguments that people are making. It could justify the stance that people are making about, oh, well, you need to be satisfied. You need to understand what's going on. You need to, you can make them arguments for me because that kind of sort of makes sense. It sort of makes sense to just kind of slow down, take your time. Maybe that when you're making a good point here. Okay, cool. I'll stop bitching. But when we're nowhere near sixth, how much? So quite frankly, we're losing touch with eighth, which was the place I was pissed off about last year. And then you want to tell me that, it's unreasonable for people to be mad about the fact that someone is eighth. I'm not buying that bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that bullshit. I'm buying that bullshit. It's incredible to me. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And by the way, DVS, you want to come on with me, football capo? You want to come on with me? Just let me know, my guys. I'll DM you. Just to have a couple of you guys on, it would be nice. Just have a little back and forth. Like I said, I won't be on for very long, but I'm going to be on for another 15 minutes. So if you guys want to come on, just let me know. We'll have a little back and forth. But for me, I just don't understand. I don't understand the argument. I don't get the argument, and I'm all for trying not to be too rash. I'm all for trying not to be. Oh gosh, okay. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do this. I'll tell you what. I'll put the link in the community post. I'll put the link in the community post. Right. I'll just have you two on though, just because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time. Hold on, 2 secs. So I don't understand the argument. I don't understand the rationale for people saying to me, "Oh, well, you need to be more understandable." Flipping heck, I know someone in my personal family saying, "Oh, well, maybe I like Mikel Arteta because he's getting the best out of his players, or he will get the best out of his. In my mind, I'm giving him this dirty look, right? And he's saying to me, "Oh, you know, he'll eventually come good." When the heck is eventually? Do you know? I keep hearing this. Eventually, he'll come good. When is eventually supposed to be coming? That's what I want to know. What I keep hearing is eventually this, eventually that. When is eventually? When am I supposed to, when are we gonna when is it gonna be now? That's what I don't understand. Let's forget we all have our opinion on the way he's going about things. There are some things to me that don't make sense about what he does. Like when he talks about Florian Balogun, as he was talking about him again today, and they asked him, surely he's gonna leave. And he said no, that if anything, he's hoping he stays. In my mind, I'm sat here thinking to myself, what about? What about? Like, why would he stay? It's not like he plays every week. It's not like he even gets on the bench every week. Why would he stay? Right? But then in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, see, those sort of things you can make an argument to me about, because you could tell me there are certain things that I may not be privy to, that I may not understand. So sure, okay, no problem. You can make them arguments to me all day long, because I probably would not understand. And there are certain things that I may not be privy to. Maybe there's some ongoing background discussions that I may not be privy to. Whatever, cool, no problem. What you cannot dispute to me is the fact that we're 11th and it's February, right? This is not one of them situations where people were telling me, "Oh, well, we're 12th," and no, we were 10th. Excuse me, we were 10th. What was it, in November? And people said, "Oh, I can't believe people are overreacted to the fact that we're 10th and it's only November." All right, motherfucker. So it's 12. We're in February now. So why is it still an overreaction? Why are people still acting like it's outrageous that people are angry in February? We're not that far until the end of the season. Not to mention that next week we get to play Benfica, who, let's face it, are not exactly slouches in their league. I've got a real bad feeling about that game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've got a real bad feeling about that game. Let's just say we not get knocked out to Benfica, right? Which will be what, the second year in a row that this motherfucker hasn't got us past the last 32? Are we still going to be defending him? Come on, people need to wake the fuck up here. Need to wake up. Anyway, I've got Football Capo on with me. I've got DVS on with me. Let me stop rabbiting. Let me bring them on. First of all, DVS, welcome, my guy. Welcome.
What's
you all right?
up? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I just don't understand the logic of certain people. That's what I don't understand.
I don't get it either. Man, where do we fucking start?
Hold that thought. Let me bring on Football Kappa as well. Welcome, Football Kappa. I hope you're well.
What up, guys?
You good, yeah?
Good, man. We're good.
Okay.
Absolutely,
So sorry, carry on, DVS.
Man?
So I just look at it as every week that we don't perform, other players across the world are looking at that and gives them less of a reason to want to come to our club. If we don't get Champions League, we're cutting 40%, I would say, or more of top quality players to even consider coming to the club. I mean, this can go on for years if we don't get, Champions League. If we go on another season, it'll be 18 years since we've won a Prem trophy. That's not acceptable for a club of our caliber, the third winningest club in England, right? Right behind United and Liverpool. I just don't. As we all know, there's no process, there's no direction. The players are good enough. You look at the names on paper and they're good enough. Some performances have been great and others have just been fucking shambles. But to think that it's going to improve before it gets worse, I'd like to think it would, but in reality, I think the chances of it getting worse if we don't get the right management team in there. And like I was telling Omar, from the top down, it has to be, red and white through and through.
What? Let me ask you something, TBS, right?
Yeah.
Where could we finish that would avoid you sacking Mikel Arteta end of the season?
I want him gone.
Me too.
I don't care if we
because I think it was the wrong appointment. Full stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what could he do for you that would save his job?
So win the Europa League. That's the only path. There's no other path. I just don't see us finishing 4th, 5th, or 6th. And, we've got to be ruthless like Chelsea's been with their managers. We just have to be ruthless that way. I mean, we saw fans crying when Frank Lampard got the sack. Thousands of fans crying. We're not going to cry about Arteta, But if it was like Henry, how would we feel? What if it was Henry with this record? How would we really feel about that?
But this is what I worry about. This is why, and I'll come to Football Kappa now with this. This is one of the main reasons why I never want someone like Henry to take the reins.
Right.
Because look at this. Look at what's happening for Mikel Arteta. Imagine if this was Thierry Henry, like DVS says, in this position. I think it would be 3-4 times worse, where people would just be making excuse after excuse as to why this is not a bad situation. We'll be damn near bottom of the league, and people are saying, "Oh well, it's not that bad, really." You can see what the guys are trying to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think Henry has the arrogance that Arteta has.
Oh, don't go. He definitely has the arrogance, man. That's King TT. That's King TT.
Henry has a right to be arrogant, right? Henry has a right to be arrogant. Mikel Arteta has no fucking right to be arrogant with any Arsenal player or any Arsenal fan whatsoever. He is not a legend. He's not even a legend at Rangers or Everton. He was shitty at Real Sociedad. Give me a break. The guy is an average player. And he's in the wrong job at the wrong club. And the more I talk about it, the more fucking pissed I get about it. Because it just piles on. And again, don't think other players on other teams aren't watching our games.
I agree. And Football Kappa, let me ask you this, because obviously, where do you stand with Mikel Arteta? And the same question to you: what would Mikel have to do?
It's done, bro. It's done
to save his job with you.
He has to bring back Guendouzi. He has to bring back Saliba. He has to bring the cup for Europa home, because where we are right now, man, his player management alone has been pissing me off, bro. Like the decisions that he's been making off the field is not helping, us in the league or helping us in the cup games. We got Partey, now injured, and who the hell are we going to stick in next to, to Xhaka? We're going to have to count on El Neni again. Those are the kind of minutes that I'd rather give to the youth, bro. I've been calling this from day one. He is the type of coach, he's the type of manager that relies on the older heads just because of seniority. Like, I look at Arsenal and I feel like I'm playing high school ball again. Like, just because I'm a freshman, I can't get into the team because the juniors, seniors, playing in front of me. And that's the same exact thing that Mikel Arteta is doing. He's putting his trust on people like Willian. He's putting his trust on, people like freaking David Luiz. He hasn't been as bad as he was last year, but the decision making is what's really pissing me off with this guy. Where we are in the league, 11th, it's not good enough. It will never be good enough. On Lee's, on one of Lee's, streams, I said, what's a point against United if we can't beat the teams around us like Wolves or Aston Villa? So it's like we go forward and then not going forward, but we take a point because we know where Manchester United was in recent form, and we could have got a result there. If we would have gotten a result, I think Wolves and Aston Villa would have been different. But those are the kind of games when we have momentum, we need to take advantage and keep on going with it. But we haven't done that. We keep on tripping over our goddamn feet. And that's what is pissing me off the most, is that I don't feel like he's making the right decisions. Either that or he doesn't have the time to make those decisions because he has so much shit on his plate. So to answer your question, Chig, either he's out now, we bring Benitez in, or he has to win the Europa League, bro, because what else is there to rescue? What else is there to rescue? I really don't know. I wanted to get on the stream.
That's exactly why
there's
I asked
nothing
the
more that
question.
you can do.
For me, I think it's almost a loaded question because there isn't much of a season to rescue at this point.
Right.
I mean, you made a good point. You were talking about last season. Everybody was like, "Okay, write it off, write it off, write it off." That was understandable because it was his first couple of months.
100%. And I wasn't happy about the idea of writing it off, but I said, "Okay, cool, all right, fine, we'll write that off." But we're not even 8th. We're not even near 8th.
Right.
8th would be a struggle right now.
Who would have thought
reaching 8th would be a struggle?
Who'd have thought that we'd have a debate about, struggling to win games against Aston Villa and Wolves? I mean, 10 years ago we'd be killing those teams 4 or 5-0. That's the frustrating thing, is the confidence is gone. And I've talked to you about this, Natalia, too. The confidence just has not been there for several years now, even under Wenger, right? I mean, the game just passed him by, and he just got stubborn, and then that's what turned us angry and to want him to get out, because he would not mix up his formula. He wouldn't change, and now we get the change, but this isn't the change we wanted, right? But it's just I don't know. It's so aggravating to see this every weekend and have it in the back of your mind that we're going to fuck up. We're going to slip up in this match. Even against Leeds, we're going to fuck up. It's bound to happen. David Luiz is going to screw up. I don't even think he's playing, but someone's going to fuck up somewhere, and that's been the theme for the last season, this season and partial last season. There will be a fuck up somewhere in almost every game. The games that we haven't had screw ups where we've won are still, when we look at those wins, are they really that good? I mean, there's a few dominant performances, in halves of those games, but have we ever really come out and kicked the shit out of a team? No.
Exactly.
Ever since Tapas came in, his problem has been. Yeah.
2 seconds. Let me just cover this super chat. Thank you, Stephen, for it. Stephen, literally, I've got to do my MMA podcast in about 5 to 10 minutes. So this is a very swift show, but I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back not Sunday because the game's on, but I'll be doing a lot. There'll be a lot more opportunities to jump on with me very recently, in the near future. So don't worry, I'll have you on soon. Okay. Thank you though for your donation. Sorry, carry on, man.
Steve, hope you're well, Steve.
Carry on. Carry on, football.
Oh yeah, man.
Football, capo.
It's to the point, man, where he didn't bring anybody in. He brought in Odegaard, on a loan, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, why didn't we get a purchase agree or guarantee to buy him?" We don't know how good he is. At the end of the day, he could have been in the best 11 of La Liga last year. But let's be honest, this is a completely different monster. La Liga is more technical, more possession of the ball, and they don't rush into attacking scenarios if they don't see it. You know what I mean? Here, this is a lot faster.
And to be honest, too, that was a player we were looking at who was 16, 17 years old at the time. That was almost going to be a Wenger signing, the new young Odegaard. We looked into him. Now, here we are 4 or 5 years later, right? And we're going back, looking at signings that Wenger looked at before he left.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that? I mean, there's been talk of Julian Draxler. I mean, are you serious? Julian Draxler? That's from fucking 2014. I mean, we're going backwards, even in our recruiting.
Yeah, and our recruiting is something where, I mean, it's never been great, but I do worry about the fact that we've sacked all these scouts now. You just worry about who's making all of a sudden these decisions.
But we've always done good with the money we've had under Wenger, and David Bean and that. We've always done well with the money we've had, right?
Listen, man, we didn't bring any money in.
Yeah, that's the
We
thing.
didn't bring anybody in with
we spend money getting rid of people.
So
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
We're the only team that actually spend money to get rid of people. I tell you, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
A lot of people were complaining about Wenger doing the same exact thing and devaluating the players, but this guy has us worse in the league table. We brought nobody else in. We're actually getting rid of players on loan when they can be helping us instead. You know what I mean? We don't even have a left back to cover for Tierney. Like how, bro? You've been doing this. I don't care if you were under Pep. I don't care if you're still a coach. You should know the basics of or handling a football club, or at least the players on your roster. We're like, come on, dude, this is repetitive. It's repetitive.
And on top of that, and don't we run a risk more of injuries if we start throwing Saka at left back, playing him at right mid, playing him at left mid? I mean, you can't have 5 or 6 utility players on a football pitch. It's different in American baseball, right? Where you have like players that play sort of different positions, and you do in football a bit. But my point is that we keep rotating these younger players into different positions. They don't become specialized in anything, and then I think their chance of injury is greater.
I think Saka actually cemented his position, to be honest with you, on the right wing.
Sure.
But now he's going to be used as a left back. Therefore, he's going to be doing more tackles. He's going to be doing, defending, more defending as opposed to attacking. So what does that do? Risk him getting hurt. Risk him getting injured. So do we want to risk that kind of player getting injured when we already have 2 of our best players already out because he's playing left back? I just think it's nonsense, man.
But he's
had
backed
enough
himself
time
in a
to get
corner.
this shit right.
He's backed himself in a corner.
And that's another thing that pisses me off as well. You're in a situation like that, and I think, funny enough, I think Zach made this point once, right? And I completely agree with it, right? I think Cedric has had one good game at left back, right? Ainsley Maitland-Niles had one shitty 45 minutes at left back, was never considered in that position again, and in fact was loaned out.
Yep.
Like, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, let me get this straight. In your mind, not for a single second did you consider that maybe it might be a good idea to, I don't know, keep Ainsley Maitland-Niles, play him occasionally in that position, let him get better because we know that he has experience. We know that he can play that position. It's just that it does take him a while to get going, right? Play him in that position more, especially when you know that Tierney's not going to make it. Instead, you just loaned him out. You just flung him out. There's so much things about this manager.
So dumb.
The decision making about this.
Don't you think
manager.
that Niles? Don't you think that Niles kind of put himself in that position by saying that that's not my preferred position? Imagine you being at a barbecue, you have a fucking gnat just constantly in your ear. Hey, I don't want to play here, or just kind of giving himself out of that position automatically because he wants to play in the midfield, and now he's playing in the midfield for Steve Bruce.
Yeah, I do think for me, I do think that as well. I do think that he does. I have kind of checked out a little bit on him, I must admit, because I do think he hasn't helped himself out on various occasions. Having said that, I also do think that, I just don't think Mikel Arteta has handled that situation out at all. Has handled that situation well at all. Like I said, I've often compared him to be the cheap, mistress. Like he kind of uses Ainsley like a kind of a cheap mistress. Like whenever he wants to get his end away, then he'll remember he's there.
Yeah,
and then uses it.
I would have sold them both. If I was Arteta right now, I would have just sold them both and look at somebody like Di Lorenzo from Napoli, and then looking for a right back, a younger right back. We could have gotten quite a bit of money, I think, for Maitland-Niles at one point, right? And Cedric's probably worth, what, 15, 16?
25 million for Wolves?
25 and 16. Go sell those guys, man. Fuck, that's 42 million pounds. Let's get the money going.
You feel
Go get
he's
Di
going to come
Lorenzo
back?
from Napoli. You got 20. You got another 10, 15 mil to go buy someone else. I mean, it's the planning behind it, right? It's not we're mad that Maitland-Niles went on loan. If we had the backup to cover that, it wouldn't be such a big deal. It's the planning behind it all. There's no fucking planning behind it. There's no, like Chick was saying, there's no forethought into, if this guy loans out and this guy gets injured, well, we won't have anybody there. Well, duh, you dumb fuck. I mean, it just, these decisions are just so, it boggles the mind.
But it would make more sense. Exactly.
It would have made more sense. Manager.
It would have made more sense if they had sold him. Definitely, for sure. I agree with that.
Sell him.
Chick, what do you make of Lacazette's contract extension, man, and having a diamond in the rough, waiting to be played? Honestly, I would cash in on him. I would cash in on him and Nketiah and just start using Aubameyang down the middle. This guy's.
I've said this to Lee before, right? Unfortunately, I have my doubts that Arteta would sell both Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah. I can't see it. I just can't see it. I think it's what needs to happen because I just think Eddie Nketiah, bless him, I just don't think he's good enough. Lacazette, I think if he signs his contract extension, I just think you're going to see a player that's just going to decline heavily. I think there's an opportunity for someone like an Eduardo to join, or someone like that who's able to join the strike unit, just to freshen up that strike force. I've heard people say Calvert-Lewin or someone like. I think Calvert-Lewin would be a dream signing, but I don't see someone like Calvert-Lewin joining. But so anyone like that might be able to kind of just boost our strike force again. I would love that to happen. Or like you say, a Balogun stepping up. But there's certain things I just don't know. I don't see how it will happen. Like Balogun, like I said at the start of the show, if you're Balogun, what the fuck incentive do you have to stay? What incentive? Oh, because I played earlier in the season. Well, I'm not even getting on the bench now. So why would I play? Why would I stay and play? But Arteta is singing this hymn of, he's heavily confident that my man's gonna stay. I'm
gonna put my neck out there, and I'm saying Balogun will stay. I'm gonna put it out there. I look at Balogun and I look.
From your lips to God's ears, I hope it happens, my brother. I hope it happens. But I don't know how. I don't know how it will stay. I don't know how it will happen.
The only way that will happen is if Nketiah gets sold or Lacazette gets sold. But
yeah,
I understand that those are his puppets. But if he had a brain, right? If this manager of ours had any kind of common sense, he knows that he can't get the best out of Nketiah when he has somebody like Lacazette and or Aubameyang there. So why wouldn't you give yourself a nice little kitty to go ahead and put half of that into a fucking award if that's what you wanted? Bring up the youth. At the end of the day, he can't be any worse than Nketiah. Listen, Nketiah might be a good player in another 5, 6, 7 years. He might turn out to be a Bamford. I know Claude loves him. He's calling him the new Dwight York and shit like that. I kind of see where he's going with those comparisons because he's a little fox in the box. But the kid is always tripping over his feet. And for me, I've never seen a forward at Arsenal trip over their feet unless you were fucking Yaya Sanogo or Shamak. That's it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's he's not helping himself. If he's not helping himself, he's not going to help us. Therefore, we need to help him get the fuck out, man.
And talking about the future is all fine and great. I get it with the Balogun stuff. Talking about the future is all fine and great. But like you said, are we going to just sit around and wait for this guy to start scoring 25 goals a season? It could take 3 or 4 years. And now we have another 23 years of a trophy drought. We need just top players now. We need top strikers that aren't, their team's main guy. I think of players like Luka Jovic, right? Striker for Real Madrid. destroyed it at Frankfurt, has done shit at Madrid. Does that make him a bad player? No. How many players of Real Madrid puked out over the last 30 years? Thousands of players that are really good, right?
Yeah, well, so I mean, you got a prime Benzema.
A prime Benzema. a Jovic, I think if we're going to keep Aubameyang and Lacazette, we just need to play them in the right positions. And for me, it's always been a 4-4-1-1 with Lacazette to the left behind of Aubameyang. It's always been a 4-4-1-1 to me. I don't know why he doesn't play that formation with those two strikers.
That's that's a good point, man.
Left. I mean, it just.
How does get the best out of an aging Vardy making runs in behind? I mean, I'm sorry, if you're going to compare Aubameyang to someone in the English Premier League, I think it would be Vardy. And I've been calling this for a while now. Mm-hmm. How are they getting the best out of Vardy at the age of 33 now? Aubameyang is 31? You know what I mean? If we're going to put him stuck on the left side, I don't want to see this guy burning his legs out to go defend and help Cedric. Cedric. He's getting older. Let's use him in the right position, which is in the box, in and around the box. He could go ahead and float into the left. He could go ahead and float into the right. But don't expect this guy. We're not getting the best out of him, man. I feel that our position right now, Laka is doing his thing. He's kind of linking up the play between the midfield and the wingers coming and bomb behind him. It's working. But you're telling me that you can't teach Aubameyang what he's already missing, which is that little thing, which is hold up play. The guy can definitely hold up the ball, bro. He may not be a Lacazette, but we're not using Aubameyang where we need him in his down the middle, inside the box, especially if he's coming back to defend. We have Pepe coming out. He's starting to show his mettle. He's trying to show his skill, right? You put that guy on the left wing. You have Saka on the right wing. Aubameyang in the middle. I haven't seen it. We haven't seen it yet. ESR is playing well, but he's still a young kid. We can't put that pressure on him. And Odegaard, for me, I wouldn't buy him. I would go for somebody else like Dani Olmo or Sabitzer. That's the kind of player that we need.
Me too. I'm not sure I'd buy him. Two seconds. Buy him. Literally, last point now, because Lord knows, I know all of us be like, where the fuck is this boy? Right? So I'm literally about to jump onto my other MMA podcast, Combat Show. Literally, I'm heading over there as we speak very, very shortly.
I'll be on there, bro.
Just before we go, right? Let me ask you guys one question. And just before I do that, DJ Crane, thank you so much for becoming re-upping your membership. Big up to you, my guy.
DJ.
Always a charmer, as he always is. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Marbles, I'm on again tomorrow, mate. Doing a preview of Arsenal versus Leeds. Feel free to jump on that. These two are welcome to come back on that as well. I'll be doing it around 7. I'm going to try and find a gap between games to do it, basically. So it'll be any time from the evening onwards. All right. So yes. What was I going to say? Question before I wrap things up here. And again, everyone else watching, please do slap a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Where do we finish the season and why? I'm going to end with you, DVS. Think about
Thank you.
Natali, where do we finish the season? And why?
I think right where we are. We're gonna keep on playing the same gunner coaster is what I call it. We're gonna get on the gunner coaster. We're gonna get excited for 1 win, 2 wins, and we're gonna trip over our own feet again, bro. I don't see any consistency coming from this team, especially with COVID, especially with the amount of games that we're stressed out with. We've depleted our squad. From 30 odd something down to what we're pretty much on 25 now players. So, Marie, I don't know what the hell is the issue with Marie, but my central pair would be Gabriel and Marie, right? We're not going to get any farther than 11th only because there's a couple of other teams around us that are still, still have games in hand. I can't see Aston Villa losing too much more because they're fighting for something as well. Everton, they just beat Tottenham in the cup. It's not even their starting 11. You know what I mean? So I can't see it getting any better, bro. I can't. And we don't have an attacking outlet unless Odegaard starts fucking scoring goals and putting up assists. I just don't see it happening where we can finish any higher, any 11th, bro. 11th, 10th, and 9th. I don't see anything less than that. Or better than that.
Okay. And then finally, for you, DVS, how about yourself?
I agree with what Dan T says here, between 9th and 12th. I was hoping to say Aston Villa, Leicester, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Leeds would all drop points around us, but that just may not happen. They may stay as inconsistent as us, but they'll still be above us anyway, So I can't really call a number, man, but I agree with what Dan's saying, like anywhere between 9th and 12th. I just don't see us getting out of this either, like Natali's saying. If we finish 6th or 7th, it's not going to be because of Arteta and Odegaard. It's not, it's going to have to be a collective. And there's going to have to really be a lot more concentration, a lot more collective in mindset of how we attack every match. And I just don't see us gathering that. I don't see us getting our heads straight to make an attempt to get 6th, 7th place. So I think we're going to languish at 9th and 12th, man. I think we're going to be anywhere between 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Unfortunately.
You said it, man. Collective.
It's a collective.
We haven't even had
and like I was saying before in some comments, I'll be really quick, Chig. We just look disjointed. We got all these players. I know world football is players from all over parts of the world, but the players we got just don't seem to gel. There's just something about it that they don't seem as a collective and they don't gel. And I put that blame primarily on Arteta because that's his job to make that happen. Right. But at the same time, there's a lot of different playing styles. There's players that don't want to be there. There's a lot of players that left too late that have left bad stigmas in the club. There's a lot of work to be done. But 9th or 12th, Chig, I just can't put a number on it, man. I just, anywhere between 9th and 12th.
I look at this Arsenal team and I see everybody playing for themselves. I don't see people, going ahead and showing the badge when they score. I see like they need to do something in order for them to kind of save their job. And that's not what we need. You know what I mean? If we're not playing collectively, if we're not playing consistently, we're not going anywhere, bro. And if these players are going to keep on, playing for themselves, it's just going to get worse and worse. So at the end of the day, we don't have a team. We really don't have a team.
Okay. All right, well said. Let's leave it on that. Guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this membership stream. Once again, please do slap a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I will be back again tomorrow. Like I said to people, I don't do a preview for every game, but I'm going to do it for key games. I think tomorrow is going to be a key game. Let's face it, it's 10th versus 11th. So let's see how we go. And yes, feel free. You guys feel free to come on that as well if you like. If you see me on and you want to jump on, I'll put the link in the community post. And we'll have a discussion on that as well. Right, I am literally going to dive off now because I am so late for my show. But I'll take care, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
DPS, be good, baby.